Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial on this channel this Wednesday. If you are new or a returning viewer, kindly please subscribe to this channel and turn on all the notification bell so that you will be alerted of every tutorial that I post. So today we are going to learn how to make this mesh sweater. It's super easy, beginner friendly. I advise that you use a lightweight yarn. A medium weight yarn can also work because you want it to be not too heavy, okay? You can use it to layer any kind of top inside. I made myself an oversized one. You can be able to adjust the size according to the way you want. Otherwise, you can see how it's just free on my body, and I like how it's hanging on me. And I hope that you find this video interesting. Like, comment, and leave me other suggestions. Okay, let's get into the tutorial. To start working on this tutorial, these are the materials which you will need. You will need a medium weight yarn. I am using a 4-ply 100% acrylic yarn, which is Winter King, and it's in the color baby blue, sky blue. I'll be using a 4.5mm hook for this yarn. You'll need a scissor, tape measure, needle, and a stitch marker. The pattern that I'm going to be using will require us to work with multiples of 8 plus 6. I am going to be making myself an oversized sweater or pullover, which is 23 inches wide. That is the back panel measurement. I have made me this before, and I know how many number of stitches I am going to be working with, and I advise that you place a tape measure on your back, get the measurement which you require for this pullover. But if you wear a size large to XL, a back panel of 23 will just be perfect for you, and I will be working with 88 number of stitches because this pattern requires us to work with multiples of 8. Now let's begin. I have already made my chain of 88, and now to begin our row 1, you are going to that last chain, block off this last chain, and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. To start working on row 1, you are going to treble crochet, and this is how you will treble crochet. I am using US stamps, so you wrap your yarn on your hook once, wrap it again twice, and then go in the 7th chain, which is the one that I have blocked. Place a treble crochet in there by inserting your hook inside that chain, pull up a loop. Now you are going to have 4 loops on your hook, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then pull through all. All right, that is how you make a treble crochet. Chain 2, treble crochet again by wrapping your yarn on your hook twice, and then go in this same stitch here, the space where you put your first treble crochet, make another treble crochet by pulling through 2, pull through 2 again, and pull through 2. Another treble crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, wrap your yarn on your hook, go in this exact same space here, pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2 again, pull through all. This is what you have created so far. Now for the next part, you are going to chain 2. After chaining 2, skip 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th chain, make a single crochet like that. Okay, after that you are going to chain 2, 1, 2 again. You will skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th chain you will make a treble crochet by wrapping your yarn on your hook twice, and then go in the 4th chain, make a treble crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we will repeat what we did here for this other side again. Chain 2, make another treble crochet in this exact same stitch. Chain 2, make another treble crochet in this exact same stitch. Like that. Okay, so this is how your treble crochets plus the single crochet looks like. You are going to chain 2, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th chain make a single crochet like that. You are going to chain 2 again, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th chain make another set of treble crochets in the same space by pulling through 2, pull through 2 again, pull through all, chain 2, wrap your yarn on your hook twice, go in the same space, pull through 2, pull through 2 again, pull through all, chain 2, wrap your yarn on your hook, go in the same space, pull through 2, pull through 2 again, pull through all, like that. You will follow this up to the end of your chain. I'm going to meet you when we will be completing our row. To end this row, you are going to chain 2, and you are left with 1, 2, 3 chains. Place a treble crochet in the last chain by wrapping your yarn on your hook twice, and then placing a treble crochet in that last chain. Pull through 2, pull through 2 again, pull through all. This is row 1, which should be the measurement of your back panel. My back panel for this pullover is going to be 23 inches, and this is a lace. It stretches. So you see how I have my 23 from here. I just want to be practical. I don't want to do guesswork with my tutorials. So this, and when you place it very well like this, it goes to 23 inches. Now that we have confirmed that, let's get on to row 2, which is the most important part in this tutorial, and it is what you will apply for the rest of this tutorial. To start row 2, you are going to chain 4. The chain 4 counts as a stitch, and that is going to be our first treble crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. After turning your work, this is how it's going to look like. Now you are going to place another set of this treble crochet on top of the second stitch which you made in the previous row. You see how in this row there's this chain 2, 1, 2. So when you turn it over like this, you will end up placing a treble crochet on top of this one. Okay, it's the first on this side and the second on this other side. It's really super easy. You don't need to worry so much about it. So turn your work, treble crochet by wrapping your yarn on your hook twice, skip this single crochet, skip the first chain, and then make a treble crochet inside that second chain. Pull through two, pull through two again, pull through all. It will appear as if you're placing it on top of this treble crochet, but no, you are placing it just immediately before this treble crochet. All right, so chain two, place another treble crochet in that exact same space. Chain two, and then place another treble crochet in the exact same space. You are going inside the chain, not through the chain, and this is how it should look like for you. Chain two, one, two, skip this space, and then place a single crochet on top of this space here, like that. As simple as that. You can always rewind back to this tutorial and play it on slow motion to get this part very well. Now we will repeat what we did here again for this other side and for the rest of this row. Chain two, wrap your yarn on your hook twice, skip this single crochet, skip this chain, and then place a treble crochet inside this chain. Pull through two again, pull through all. Chain two, place another treble crochet inside there, pull through two again, pull through all. Chain two, one last treble crochet in the same space, pull through two again, pull through all, and then chain two, skip this space, place a single crochet inside this space here. We'll repeat one more time. Chain two, treble crochet in this second chain, which is the one close to this treble crochet, pull through two again, pull through all. You place treble crochets inside that chain, not through the chain. All right, chain two, wrap your yarn on your hook twice, place another treble crochet inside that stitch, 1, 2, and 3. Chain two, wrap your yarn on your hook twice, go in the same space, pull through two again, pull through all. Then chain two, skip this space, place a single crochet inside that space. This is what you'll be repeating for row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, but let's take this up to the end of the row and we start row 3. To end your row, you are going to chain 2. Don't place your last treble crochet on top of this treble crochet, but inside this chain, which is just next to the treble crochet. Go inside that chain and make a treble crochet to end this row. All right, this is row 2. For now it's looking like it's, you know, crumbling, but as you work on this lace, it will just flatten out automatically. I want you all to note that you start your row with a chain 4 and end with a treble crochet. The chain 4 always counts as a stitch. That is chain 4. Turn your work. Now for row 3, going onward, you will be repeating row 2 over and over again. But let me just start, and then I'll leave you to complete crocheting up to your desired length. Wrap your yarn on your hook, skip the single crochet, and then place a treble crochet inside that chain. Remember, you're placing the treble crochet inside your chain, not through it. All right, so chain 2, wrap your yarn on your hook and go in the same space again. Chain 2, wrap your yarn on your hook and then go in the same space again, like that. Then you are going to chain 2, skip this space, and then place a single crochet inside this space here, like that. This is what we will repeat for that desired length. I am going to make a pullover that is below my waist. I'll meet you right back here when I'm done. That is usually 18 or 19 inches. Unless if I want it just right where my waistline is, it will be 17 inches. But I will crochet until I have 19 inches and we meet again. I have obtained my desired length. It is 19 inches. I have 34 number of rows here, and you can already see how the pattern is flowing. All right, it just looks okay for me. Very perfect for a sweater like this one. Now, as we complete, or when you have obtained your desired length, you are going to chain 1 here. No, I'll just leave it like that and cut out the tail of this yarn and pull this out like that. We can measure this. My back panel is 23 inches. I have 20. Does it fit? Yeah, it does. I have 23 inches as my back panel, and then when you get the length of it, you know, lace stretches, that is just something I love about laces. But again, also, you should not overstretch out your lace. It will look out funny. So the length, you see, I stretched, it went to 20, but it was 19 inches earlier. I'm sure it's going to get back to where it was previously, and this is just slightly under my waistline, not exactly where my waistline is, but just slightly under my waistline. Now for the front panel, you are going to create another panel which is exactly like this, and then we will have to create a neckline for it somewhere here. I have 34 number of rows here. I'm going to crochet until, let's see, I think this distance is enough for me. Oh no, this again is too low. I'll crochet until I have 32 rows, and then I'll create a neckline. That is when I'll meet you people again, because I need to guide you people on how to create that neckline for our front panel. And while you are here, kindly please subscribe to this channel. It means so much to me, especially if you're a returning viewer and I've been contemplating if I should stay here. This is a sign that you should subscribe today. And for the new viewers, please don't leave without subscribing. Turn on all the notification bell so that you'll be alerted of every tutorial that I create. Catch you at that point. I've made my 32 rows. Now we need to determine the neckline. I need a neckline that is around 6 to 7 inches. So I will guide on how to determine that for each and every one of us. You are going to get your tape measure. My back panel is already 23 inches. like that. So now I first get your stitch markers just around here. I want, let's measure 8 inches. This is where our 8 is. It's just going to be practical, okay? In here. And then another 8. Which is in here. And then let's see how much we have in between here. We have like 8. I don't know why it's doing that. When you do 8 times 3, that is 24. But I'm sure it's 7 something. My goodness. Lessons, either way, tensions are different. You should not worry about it. And I don't want to lie about it, okay? Just let it flow the way it is. Now, let's start working. We are going to crochet to this part and then turn our work. I have 32 number of rows here. My back panel had 34 rows, so I will just create 2 rows cut out, attach my yarn, and then proceed. So let's begin. Chain 4, 1 2 3 4, turn your work, treble crochet in here. I'm going to do this and then meet you before I reach my stitch marker, because now we need to determine how the stitch is going to end in that space. I'm approaching close to our stitch marker, so I've already chained 2. I'll make a treble crochet in this chain here, chain 2, make another treble crochet in the same space, chain 2, make another treble crochet in the same space, then chain 2 again. So make a treble crochet inside this space like that. We will create another row before we can complete, but this is how it looks like. Chain 4. The chain 4 counts as a treble crochet. 1 2 3 4. Now turn your work. For us to start this row, we are going to do it like how we crocheted row 1. So add 2 more chain, 1 2. Remember that chain 4 counts as a stitch, and then the chain 2. After chaining 2, you have 6 chains. Make a single crochet inside here, okay? Then chain 2, make a treble crochet inside this space. Just in case you are getting a little bit confused, this is 1 2 3. Place a stitch marker there, okay? Because when we'll be joining this panel to the back panel, this is what you will do, and that's where you will insert your needle or hook to join the panels. Then repeat this. I'll meet you when we are at the end of our row here. End this row with a treble crochet like that. Then no, just pull the tail of this yarn long enough. You are going to use it to join your panels to the back panel like that, okay? Then we will reattach our yarn here, but I want to show you people something. You see how we ended our row with a treble crochet on this side, yet if we weren't creating a neckline, it would be a single crochet. Right now I just want to guide you people and give you people a trick. So if this were a single crochet, meaning you would place a cluster of treble crochet here, a single crochet in this space, a treble crochet here, a single crochet in this space, a treble crochet here, a single crochet in this space, and then a treble crochet in this space where there's a stitch marker. But now we are not going to put a cluster of treble crochet here, but we will start this row like how we started row 1. So go inside this chain here like that, chain 4, okay, and then chain 2. You have 6 chains. Come in this space here and then make a single crochet. See, this is how we started row 1, and then chain 2, make a cluster of treble crochet in this space like that. Okay, don't mind so much about how it's looking here. You see, when you count 1 2 3 4, this is already a treble crochet. Place your stitch marker in that space. Repeat this pattern up to this point. When you end this row, you chain 4 and then start the other row. I'll show you people how to end this row. Now we are going to end this row with the treble crochet. After chaining 2, you wrap your yarn on your hook like that, and then skip these 2 chains, place a treble crochet in the space where I place a stitch marker like that. Okay, and then pull out your yarn long enough. You are going to use it to join this panel. Now get all your panels. This is my back panel. Determine which side you will wear out. I want to wear this side out. Okay, so lay the side which you are going to wear out for the back panel down, and the one you wear inside should face you upward like that. Meanwhile, the front panel is going to be laid a little bit differently. You want the way how these clusters are flowing to also flow for the front panel. Much as I said that this is the bad side facing me upward, and I've already determined the good side for myself that I want to wear outside. For the front panel, it's going to be the opposite, because you want, when you are aligning it onto your back panel, these clusters should flow. So if I use the other trick which I have told you earlier of how I determined my back panel, I said that I wanted to wear this side out with it facing like that, and when I place it like this, you will see that these clusters are not matching. Okay, they're just in the opposite direction. That is why I said the front panel will be a little bit different. Now do the opposite. For my back panel, this is the side which I was going to wear out, but for the front panel instead, the side which I am to wear out for my back panel will be the one which I'll wear inside for my front panel, and the one which I wear inside for my back panel will be the one that I wear outside. Okay, so this is the side which I wear out. Instead of wearing this out for my front panel, I'm going to flip it over and then I wear this side out like that. Okay, so you can see that this is out, and then I place this becomes inside, and this other side faces me upward, and when we align it here, you will see how that flows. So now when you align, you can see how the flowers that the treble crochet crease is aligning to each side. just perfectly without any hassle. And with this, you can even know where this lies. Get your stitch marker and just attach it right there. We have chicken at home and they are like family. They are everywhere, so some have come around where I am. In case you catch it, just be patient with me a little, like that. Now for this other part, do the same. Align these flowers to each other and then use your stitch marker 1 2 to join this to this other side. You have pretty much finished joining your 2 panels to each other, and joining is going to be very easy because you are going to ensure that it flows just the way you had aligned it here. Now let's begin to join. To join, insert your yarn inside your needle like that, and now we are going to follow the rhythm here. We are going to join this like that, but first let me secure the yarn. I love needlework, makes my work very easy. So now I keep losing stitch markers. Let me place this there where my eyes are seeing. So are you seeing this? This will come in here, this will be in here, this will be in. Yep. So now we join this side of our cardigan. I'll go ahead and join these 2 sides and then ask you people to do the same. We meet right back here when we have finished joining these 2 sides of our sweater together. Like that. You could even use a single crochet or a slip stitch, but I just like to use the needle compared to those other methods. Okay, catch you when I have joined these 2 sides all together. I have finished to join my 2 panels. Now you can see how this flows, and this is exactly what I was explaining earlier. Same for this other side. We will now first work on the neckline before we start working on our sleeves. Grab your hook and attach your hook anywhere in there. Like that. Place a single crochet inside. Let it be in the center. So place a single crochet in there. Place another single crochet in the space where I had attached previously, or where you see yours is, and then place a single crochet on top of this treble crochet. Then make 2 single crochets inside this chain 2 space. Place a single crochet on top of this single crochet. Place 2 single crochets inside this chain 2 space, and then place a single crochet on top of this treble crochet. We will repeat this all round. Where there's a chain 2, you place 2 single crochets. Where there's a treble crochet or single crochet, you place 1 of each on top of those treble crochet or single crochet. Okay, like that. End your row with a slip stitch on top of this single crochet, like that. This is how your neckline looks like. Now we are going to start working on the band. You're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th chain is a returning stitch, so make 6 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. This is just enough for my neckline. If you want a thicker neckline, you need to add more chains for yours. These 6 are enough for me. Now slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Chain 1, turn your work, skip the 2 slip stitches and then make 6 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Chain 1. I'll show you how to start row 4, and then you will repeat this all round. If you want your neckline to be gathered, like if you don't want it, because now as we crochet you will see how it flows, so if you don't want it turning out too wide and you want it a little bit gathered, you might have to exchange between slip stitching twice and then in the next you slip stitch thrice. I don't know, just be practical about it, okay? So these are 2, 4, 6, then slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, okay? Chain 1 and start row 4. This is how you will end and start your row. I'll now crochet this all around and meet us here when I am done, like that. This is just enough for me. If 6 is short for you, add a few more chains and get that desired length. I'm through with my neckline and this is how it turned out. You can clearly tell which one is the front and the back. Right now it's the front that is facing me. Now we will join the side of this. I will cut out my yarn and use a needle to do that. Let's join. Insert your yarn inside your needle and then go in the sides of the other part and just use a needle to join this side to each other. You can even use a slip stitch. I'll do this to the end and meet you right back here when I'm done. When you are done joining, pass the yarn to the other side and cut out the long tail. I'll do this later when I'll be fastening the loose ends. We are done with the neckline. We can now start working on the sleeves. It was very easy for me to determine my sleeves. I just used my panel to determine how wide I want my sleeves to be. by folding. I'm just going to illustrate for you people. Now that, yeah, let me do it like this. So this is what I did. I folded my panels into two, and then I went ahead to eyeball how wide I wanted my sleeves to be. It helped me calculate how many number of chains I'm going to make to start working on. And when I did that, I did something like this, and I kept attempting until I realized that this is enough for me. And then I went ahead and crocheted. It's the same way how we crocheted the front and the back panel, except that you are working on the sleeves. To determine the length of your sleeve, place a tape measure in your underarm and measure up to your calf or to that desired length which you want. I did that. I'm making an oversized sweater, so I crocheted until I had like 17-18 inches, somewhere there. Where is my tape measure? Yeah, so when you measure this, it's 18 inches long. So what I did, if you want your sleeves to be my size, I made 64 number of chains plus 6, because this pattern requires us to work with multiples of 8 plus 6. And how I found out, when I folded my panels together and was able to determine how wide I wanted my sleeves to be, I went ahead and marked that point with the stitch marker and then counted how many these clusters of triple crochets were there. I had 8. And then I calculated 8 times 8, which is 64 plus 6. Do the same for you. It's going to be super easy instead of doing another guesswork of how many number of chains you need to make for your sleeves. Now, when you are done with that and you are finished, you are going to cut out your yarn. I made 30 rows for my sleeves, and it is around 18 inches long. Instead of us working our cuff from down here, there's a way this pattern flows, and I just want to keep it that way. If I say I want to crochet my cuff down here, that is going to change the whole dynamic of this pattern for me, and I don't want that. I hope you notice that when we join this panel, it is aligning to each other. The treble crochets are pointing upwards, not downwards. Yet if I don't do the same for the sleeves, it's going to look funny. Assuming I made my cuff down here and then we use this end to attach onto our sweater, it is going to flow like this. Instead of it flow facing upwards, the treble crochets will just face downwards, and I don't want that for myself. So for that case, when you are done making the required length for your sleeves, get your scissor and cut out the tail of that yarn. Now we get this out of the way to start working on the cuff. For the cuff, you are going to grab your hook and then fold it like this. Join these sides together, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then join your hook in the 4th stitch there. Like that. Chain 1, turn your work. Like that. Yeah. So make single crochets in every stitch that you see here. First, make a single crochet in this space here. Make 2 single crochets inside here. 1 single crochet in here. 2 single crochets inside here. and then 1 single crochet in here, 2 single crochets inside this space. Repeat this all round. I'll meet you when we are going to join our row from this point. To end this row, join it with a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet you made from the beginning of your row. Chain 1, turn your work. Now we are going to start reducing the circumference of this scarf. As you can see, I don't need to do a lot of reduction, but if yours is bigger than this, then you might have to alternate 2 reductions plus 3. I will be alternating between 2 reductions and only 1. This is how I'll do it. After chaining 1 and turning your work, you are going to place a single crochet in that first stitch, and then go in the next stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook and then pull through all, and then just place a single crochet in the next stitch, then reduce again, 1, 2, pull through all, and then place a single crochet in the next stitch. Let's reduce one more time. Insert your hook in this loop, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook and then pull through 3. Then place a single crochet in the next stitch. This is how I will reduce mine. If yours is bigger, you can just be reducing by 2 or by 3 until you obtain that required circumference that will help you work with end. I'll meet you when I'm done doing the same for myself. To end your row, slip stitch on top of this first stitch when like that. Then chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11th chain is a returning stitch. So you are going to slip stitch 10. We are repeating what we did for our neckline here for the cuffs, and this is how your cuff will turn out. Okay, I haven't joined the sides because I'm going to use a needle to join this side up to this end. So repeat what we did here exactly for this other part, except that you chain 11 and then make 10 slip stitches. Do this all round. I'll meet you when I'm done working on mine. This is my last row. What is left is to join these sides up to this point. I'll be using a needle, so I'll cut the tail of this yarn at least long enough to join the sides of my sleeve. Put this aside and just pull this yarn. Like that. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You will get your sweater like this, okay, and then lay it on your working table. Find the center part of your sleeve, which is this one. Join it onto this center here like that, and when you have done that like this, you will spread it out. Okay, like this. So you will start by joining the side of this sleeve onto this part here. You can start anywhere. Okay, when you are done, fold your work like that, and then use the tail of this yarn to join up to this point, and when you reach the underarm, you use the same yarn, if it was long enough, to join up to this side of the sweater. I'll do the same, and when I am done joining one side, I'll proceed to join the other side of my sweater. For those of you who are not good with needlework, you can use a single crochet or slip stitch to join this side, whatever that works for you. At the end of the day, you want every panel of this pullover joined together. I also want to note that there are so many ways of joining the panels together. You can either first join the side of this sleeve and then join it onto your pullover, or you can start joining from down here, both sides of your pullover like this. You can first join from down here to somewhere here and then leave a space to attach your sleeves. All methods work. Just find which one works best for you. In my tutorials, you can see so many ways of how I join my work. So just apply any of those. All will be fine. Like that. Like that, okay? We meet when we have finished joining the sleeves onto this pullover, and then we start working on our lower part of this pullover. All the sides of our pullover are joined. You can see that. Oh god, it can never go wrong with needlework. So you see that, and also this side like that. Now let's work on the downer part of this pullover. We are going to make single crochets all round. Get your hook, reattach your hook in any side. It can be this or this other side here, one that is convenient for you. Let me start from here. Insert your hook here in the middle, grab your yarn, and then pull out your yarn like that. Chain one. Make a single crochet in this space where you made a chain one, like that. Make 3 single crochets in this space. 1, 2. You can see 2 is enough, but if yours feels wider, add 3. And 1 single crochet in here. Either 2 or 3 single crochets inside here. 1, 2, and 3. The reason why I say you should put 3 single crochets is because there's a chain 3 in between here. Now, somewhere here I could have added 3 single crochets, but the space wasn't enough. I guess where I joined compensated for it. So I have 1, 2, 3 single crochets here, plus 1, and then plus 3. So in this I place 1 single crochet, and then in this space place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then 1 single crochet inside that eye. You will repeat this all round. If 3 single crochets are going to be too crumbled in a space, just put 2, because now when you are working, you are able to see how it's turning out. You can see how straight mine is. If you feel yours is not straight, just instead of putting 3, put 2, okay? Because now tensions are different and these spaces might not be like how mine is. Your tension was either tight, whereby if you put 3 single crochets inside this loop, this space here, it becomes a lot, like that, okay? And just 1 single crochet in here. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now you've found me. You need to subscribe to my channel, please. Turn on the notification bell after you have subscribed, okay? That way you'll be alerted of every tutorial which I post. I usually post my tutorials on Wednesdays at 7:30 East African time, like that. End your single crochet row with a slip stitch on top of this first stitch here, like that. Now this is how the single crochet look like when you place the right number of stitches in the spaces which you see while crocheting. Now we are going to start working on our ribbing. It's going to be the same as this one, okay, except that here we had less number of chains, but for our ribbing we will chain 11. The 11th chain is a returning chain, and just apply what we did for our neckline. For this bottom part is the same. I'm just going to go off camera and work on this lower ribbing because the same explanation here applies for the lower side, but I can show you all how to end row 1 and you just repeat that all through. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Slip stitch in the next 10 stitches. Turn your work, slip stitch in this stitch here, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 1, turn your work, skip the 2 slip stitches and then slip stitch in the 3rd stitch. This is what you will now be repeating all round. I'll do the same and we meet here to end this tutorial. Now we are going to join these 2 sides. You can either use a needle or join using slip stitch. I'll be using a needle. If you're using a needle, pull the tail of your yarn and cut it out. Get your needle, insert your yarn inside the needle, secure the yarn, go in the back loop of this stitch and then go in the other side of your row, back loop of this, and then through this side of the other ribbing and join this up to the end. I secured my yarn loosely. You can always come back like this. Okay, now they are uniform. Come back in here like that, and then pass your yarn to this side like that. Okay, and then proceed to join the rest of the other part. I'll meet you when I'm done with mine. When you are done joining the side, cut the tail of your loose end. At this point, you should also be able to complete fastening your loose ends. I did mine while I was working. After that, this is how your lace sweater is going to look like. This is the front. These are the sleeves. Okay, and this is how your lower ribbing looks like. You can already see in the photos which I have attached in my intro how it turned out. This is the lower side. With this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social media handles. My social media handles are in the description box below. I appreciate all of you for showing up here every Wednesday. Catch you again in my next tutorial. Bye.